Prying open your third eye safely. Be careful. A spiritual awakening when your third eye opens is not typically easy. It usually causes an abrupt paradigm shift in our lives, which can make it difficult to navigate through. A third eye opening can make it difficult to relate to the mundane world. Considering how valueless the mundane temporal world is, I have trouble appreciating it already. All I've ever wanted since my youth was to have spiritual consciousness that was beyond worldly consciousness. This inner yearning was a call from within that beckoned me. The more time I put into discovering spiritual mysteries and truths, the more I found and the more I wanted. I tried to satisfy my worldly desires just so they leave me alone. I try to fulfill my spiritual longings because I want more. I want to move forward and evolve. I don't want them to stop. I want and need to be more spiritual, not material. The third eye concept comes from the mystery schools of yoga. It is said that when the Lord Shiva's third eye is closed, he is in samadhi, a state of peace that is an illusion. While his third eye is closed, the material phenomena of the universe is in its manifested state, which is an illusion. When he opens his third eye, the material universe evaporates. The illusion is destroyed. This is why he is called the destroyer of the Trinity. There is Brahma, the god of creation, Vishnu, the god of preservation, and Shiva, the destroyer. The material reality, called Maya or Samsara in Sanskrit, is not actually an illusion that doesn't exist. The Yoga Darshan, Vedas, and other Sanskrit texts explain that the material world is indeed real. You can't walk through walls and move mountains with your mind. And this isn't just because you don't believe. The physical world is real and exists. It is just our perception of it that is an illusion. Our human material consciousness sees everything as good or bad and is automatically forming opinions and perceptions about everything. The Vedas teach that the illusion is not the world itself, but our perception of it. Human material consciousness sees everything subjectively, but pure spiritual consciousness sees everything objectively. The good-bad concept is destroyed upon third eye opening. The challenge of a third eye opening is that your own consciousness expands. You begin to lose interest in mundane entertainments and people. You cannot relate to a mundane, non-spiritual world as you once could, and non-spiritual people cannot relate to you much either. You basically grow up. The cool thing is that you're experiencing an inner peace and acceptance like never before. So what's the downside? The process of separation and detachment can be difficult. As your consciousness becomes more aware, it's like you're moving on, and many of your loved ones are not. You have less in common with them. We go our separate ways and it can be lonely. You also feel a spiritual empathy for others and humanity as a whole, as you want them to get unstuck from material ignorance too. It can be a lonely burden. A certain degree of Christ-like consciousness develops and you become very sensitive to the world's sufferings, yet there's little you can do about it. If we can open our third eye, we destroy the illusion that we are human beings having a spiritual experience and have full awareness that we are actually spiritual beings having a human experience. Big difference. Learn how to pry open your third eye safely and responsibly. The methods to safely open your third eye are not too different than the methods you learn in your local yoga studio or meditation instructions. A little tweak here and there and a few simple lifestyle modifications can make all the difference. The sages such as Patanjali and Svatmarana and Vedavyas tell us at the beginning of the Yoga Sutras, the Yoga Darshan and the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, that these methods are very dangerous if done without following the complete instructions. Modifying your diet, sleep methods, adjusting your yoga, asana postures, pranayama breathing methods will make all the difference. In ancient times, the complete instructions were provided in several books, not just one. One book told you how to do things. One book told you how to prepare properly. And another book told you how to maintain the results. In this Kali Yuga age, rarely are all three books available in entirety. Third eye safety is totally reliant upon preparation as well as execution of the methods. You know, before running a marathon, you gotta hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. If not, you ain't finishing the race. You're gonna wind up in seizures on the side of the road. Similarly, when your workout is done, you need to rest properly, balance these carbs, and rehydrate, hydrate, and hydrate. In this free live workshop, you will learn what the Hatha Yoga Pradipika and Yoga Darshans teach us to prepare and sustain your third eye opening safe and sane. Methods of prying open your third eye. Most of the world has their third eye closed. Very few have their third eye open. Some have a third eye that is partially open. Opening your third eye should be done carefully. Done improperly, it can cause insanity. Or worse, you could start a cult or become a politician. Most of us bounce back and forth between worldly thinking and spiritual thinking. Living in the world requires it. We can't remain in spiritual consciousness while doing worldly duties. Worldly duties require your material consciousness. The challenge is to shift from material consciousness to spiritual consciousness when it's time to meditate, pray, go to church or temple, or participate in any spiritual practice. Our material consciousness is hard to suspend during spiritual practices. That's why it's called spiritual practice, sadhana in Sanskrit. Practice makes perfect, and over time, we can shift quickly and seamlessly between material and spiritual consciousness. Once our third eye is wide open, we can sustain a spiritual mindfulness whilst doing our worldly duties. The quote I love from the Upanishads is, In the beginning, you do your sadhana, your spiritual practice, and in the end, sadhana is all you do. This means that over time, as your third eye remains open with your spiritual practices, your spiritual consciousness is always present in a subtle manner that does not interfere with your worldly duties. Another one is, be in the world, not of the world. This one is often attributed to New Testament Bible's John 17:16. A safe and proper third eye opening is done gradually so that you can adjust to your shifting perception and evolving values. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita teaches the same thing as he instructs Arjuna to do his duty as a warrior, but to keep your mind in me. The third eye opening shift can cause psychic perceptions too. As the boundaries of your perception evaporate, your mind has greater access to the Akashic records where all truth and knowledge is stored, as well as the past, present, and future. Psychic abilities can be very distracting and seductive as all powers can be. Sanskrit texts caution us not to absorb our minds in them, as they are not truly spiritual, but rather a more subtle aspect of Maya, the material phenomena, and therefore part of the illusion of it. It is advisable to ignore psychic abilities and keep your mind on divine love consciousness. Thankfully, sages, saints, Buddhas, gurus, and masters have been dispatched to this earth time and time again to help us be safe and sane with our third eye opening. How we cause a third eye opening, how we sustain it, is vital to how we navigate through it. Much of what they teach and provide for us is altered and modified by stupid humans with political and organized religious agendas. But the true, authentic, and original instructions they provide are still present and available to use if we know how to find them. As Yeshua, the Christ teacher, said, "Seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you." The methods and practices used to open your third eye and develop spiritual consciousness have been preserved and guarded and await you. Seek with your heart and it will come to you. Search with love and you will open your third eye. And keep it that way. Learn how to pry open your third eye safely and responsibly. Free third eye opening workshop. 2 opportunities to attend live on Zoom. Thursday, August 8th, 2024 at 5:25 p.m. Pacific Time. Saturday, August 10th, 2024 at 7:45 a.m. Pacific Time. Q&A during the workshop, knowledge and application of third eye opening methods. Please register to attend. No, you will not get hammered with spam emails. You'll be sent the Zoom link and a couple reminders before the workshop. Those who cannot attend live, the class will be recorded and stored on the cloud. Request the link and it will be provided to you. All are welcome and it's always free.